So today we're showing our IAQP story with HVACR. We recently partnered with a engineering design software company called HVACR, and we're rolling out our IAQP software to the HVAC division. But here we're showing what an engineer would look at to enter a project into HVACR. So simply enter the general information, any kind of contacts to collaborate, deadlines, dates, codes, and standards, and we'll simply walk you through the overall process. So what HVACR is doing for us is pulling in a project address, and from there they will pull in the EPA's closest IAQ index, and it'll import a lot of data to make it easy for the engineering community to showcase all of the data implementations. So a lot of the data that makes it tough for engineers to specify is all the space types. So each engineer would have to actually pull all these data points manually, where HVACR is making it a lot more simple and easy to utilize. So here you'll see space types, ventilation requirements, exhaust requirements, and at the end of it, you'll see the IAQP data section. So these are all the contaminants of concern that make it much more stringent for engineers to look at. We're making it all simple and one-click sort of solution. Another very neat thing about HVACR is they have a AI wizard. So you'll import a PDF drawing, and it'll actually map out the space for you real time without having to do any kind of manual data import. So you can go in here and click a simple drawing, and it'll bring in the break room, room 116. It'll sort of showcase the ceiling heights, the number of people in that space, the overall CFMs needed to ventilate that one space itself. So again, all these things you'll have to manually do for each of these spaces, where in here you'll have to do it automatically. And then the other neat thing here is it'll show a 3D rendering of the space. So you can sort of click here and see the different load on the building at 4 a.m. versus 2 p.m. It'll have a lot more load on the overall space itself. So a cool little feature built within HVACR. And then here we're showing the actual zones. So you can group it with VRP versus IAQP. So if you want to have the west side of the building with IAQP and the east side with VRP, we're making it very simple and easy for the engineering community to specify that piece of it. And then lo and behold, the biggest piece of what we're trying to roll out to the community is the return on investment that our array unit can bring to the table. So if you were to specify this building via VRP, you'd have to have 4,700 CFMs. Whereas if you went with the IAQP route, you're reducing that by 30%, which is a big energy draw on the overall building, therefore saving a lot of energy for the space. But you'll see here the different kilowatt savings over that overall project, which makes our system much more aggressive in the marketplace. And then lastly, you'll be able to see the overall equipment schedules. So if this building had 2 rooftop units and 10 VAVs, and then also 4 Fellows Array pieces of equipment, you'll be able to see all that data under one sitting.